Hello, everybody. We are live.
Yay!
Um, I am here with the lovely and talented Brittany Bow of GameWire. How are you doing, Bebo?
I'm fantastic. I just finished playing a game of Clank. We finished 5 minutes before I had to be here, so gotta
That's
get close.
awesome. That's hilarious. No, I was like at derby practice. I stopped off to see the local league and see if I could help them out before their game because they've got one coming up, and I was just gonna hang out. So I put on my skates for the first time in a while, and so I have helmet hair. So that's a thing, but
Fabulous helmet hair.
Thank you, thank you. So yeah, I figure we could just talk and hang out, and hopefully, people would join us. It looks like there are already people here. Hello, people! If you want to say
Hi,
something
people.
in the live chat, feel free to. We'll be responding throughout. But like, this is a really exciting year because like, I think you and I are going to be at the at Gen Con together this year.
Yeah.
Which is going to be awesome. If you are attending Gen Con, we are doing a panel together. As a matter of fact, with Contessa, right?
Yep. I'm so excited for that panel.
Oh, that's awesome.
Should we tell everybody what it's about?
Well, I'm doing the panel where we are talking about getting started in board gaming. So if you know someone who wants to, get into hobby games the way that, I'm assuming you and I are probably, that would be the panel. Are you discussing anything else? Are you doing any other panels at Gen Con?
I believe it's the same panel, but they asked me to specifically cover how to keep your game, how to basically start up a core hobby game group and keep it going.
Ooh, that's pretty awesome. Yeah, no, I don't know. I don't know if we're split up then, because I know I've got a different time, so we'll see how it goes. If not, at very least, I will be in the crowd cheering you on.
Yeah,
as always.
And me for you.
But yeah, so that's actually a really exciting thing. You're also going to be. What other cons are coming up that you're going to be at?
Okay, so next convention I'm at is Coney or Not Expo, I believe.
Yeah, I'm there too.
Yep, and then I'm going to be at International Tabletop Day at the end of the month.
Yeah, that's going to be so awesome. I'm so excited for you. The crew is out in the LA office at Geek and Sundry are amazing. Probably going to, you want to bring, they always have coffee, but bring some coffee because, you are where you are. And you're probably,
Seattle coffee.
Yeah, you're bringing Seattle coffee. That's basically what I'm telling you.
Okay.
Superadem says 8310 says hello. Thanks for hanging out with us. But yeah, I think this is going to be a really interesting year. There's a lot of stuff happening in the industry so far. Oh my god, it feels like it's like what, April now, and I already feel tired. I feel exhausted. I'm like, wow, there's like, I think this is the first year I'm actually like really into the industry newswire, and like I see a lot of stuff now. And so there's so much more. It was so much different last year when I could like at least pretend to be a player and a really, really like enthusiastic hobbyist. And now this year it's work. They're making us work.
They are making us work. I do feel this year more than ever that I really feel like a part of the industry. Like I'm being taken seriously. like I've been at this 4 years, right? And it took me like three to finally feel like I was being taken seriously. But
oh my gosh, is that my cat?
Whiny cat?
Oh my god, yeah, I closed the door on my cat and now it's like trying to get in. Yeah, no, they're not allowed in. They ruin my D&D sessions when we do this. So
mine is currently in the background waiting by the door, waiting to be let out.
So we have the opposite problem then.
Yeah.
Let me see here. Yeah, so we're doing a lot of like, so for me, this is like, I've kind of been involved in gaming commentary for a few years now, probably about as long as you, but like this year I kind of got picked up for a bit as a contributing editor on Geek and Sundry. So now I see a lot more and I'm involved a lot more, and Yeah, no, it's really exciting. It's really busy. And yeah, I know exactly what you feel. But that's really cool. I mean, I think it's really great. One of the privileges I've had is being able to cover women in the industry and talk to them and hear their stories a little bit. And there are a lot of really interesting journeys. There's a lot of really incredible women in the industry, and I want to highlight more of them. Obviously, you were one of them, Brittany. So if you're unfamiliar with that, I'll throw the link to the article in the doobly-doo when we're done live casting, but you can check it out. We'll be doing more and more of that kind of coverage because I think it's really important to talk about how women are involved in the hobby, but not just focus on the fact that they're women, but that they're accomplished and they actually have a significant contribution to the industry.
They do, and it's been so nice to see those people highlighted that really just deserve it.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, we are talking. Is there a leg? Renzi is asking about leg. I don't know. Let me see here.
I had a little bit of leg with you earlier. My picture is not like I can't see myself moving at all.
Oh my gosh, huh? We are having some technical difficulties, folks. Let's see if we can figure this out. That's so weird.
I can try to use my other camera. Maybe it'll be less leggy. It's not as nice.
Oh, maybe we gotta see if that works. Let's have a look here.
Let's see.
Boom, boom, boom. Dun, 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 dun.
Is that less leggy? I think it is.
Maybe. It takes a while for it to get up onto the YouTube page, but we'll see if we can sort that out. Apologies to everyone hanging out. We'll figure this out shortly. Oh, there you are. Yeah, no, it's totally working.
Okay, yeah, it was my fancy webcam that it didn't want to process.
You have a fancy webcam?
I have a Logitech fancy webcam that is definitely higher def than my
I'm on my Logitech too. I remember buying it and posting a photo on Instagram, and I'm like, I swear it's for work, but not that kind of work. But you know, that's totally a thing. I don't know. I think that it's a really interesting time. What are you excited about this year? Like, what have you heard? What rumblings have you heard so far? What do you want to talk about?
Oh my gosh. Well, travel is out of control. I think I have a trip every month through the end of November.
Holy crap.
Yeah, like that's blowing my mind. It seems like every time I turn around, there's a new convention. And I feel really bad because I'm getting people emailing me asking me if I can come to their conventions. And I'm like, not without cutting another show. Like, I've only got so many people who can watch my daughter once a month.
Yeah, that's true. I guess like you're tapping your resources, hey?
Yeah, single parent life. But
right.
It's great because my co-parent works in film. And so he can kind of make his own schedule, but I have to let him know ahead of time. And I don't think he was prepared for me to be like, once a month for 9 months.
Woo! Yay! You get to play with cool toys though, right?
Exactly. I mean, it's totally worth it. I'm so just completely exasperated and excited beyond words for what this year has to bring. What I'm most excited about is the number of new games that are set to launch this year that are just going to be huge.
Oh my God, right? So I was at Adepticon and Games Workshop, like I was talking to folks at Games Workshop, they don't often do the big like tabletop cons. They do the mini wargaming cons, and they're like home for me, right? So Adepticon's like home for me, and I'm hoping to get to one more miniature wargaming con this year, which is going to be Nova. We'll see, fingers crossed. But they did something really special in that they brought a Shadespire, which is a game that I am like all about now, to Adepticon for the people who were at Adepticon to actually demo, and they demoed it for everyone who showed up to their presser, which was like amazing. It was like a good couple hundred of people, and for me, this is like super amazing twofold. One, like if you followed me for any length of time, over the last like 4 or 5 years, you'll know that like I've had a really interesting relationship with Games Workshop. I loved my Tau. I played them for years. I played competitively, but they the company kind of got really weird under Kirby, like the direction that the board was taking, and then they got kind of like, I don't want to say hostile, but they had this really like antagonistic relationship almost with their consumers, and then they broke Warhammer Fantasy, and they're like, "Man, no more for Warhammer Fantasy for you," which I understood. Like, I get it. They just weren't selling it, and then but it was weird because they did this whole press thing, and they've come back in the last, like, I don't know, 12 months, 18 months has been amazing. It's like a Games Workshop has come and joined the golden age of geek, and
I mean, they got back on social media, right? Like, that was huge.
Yeah, like when they disappeared off of social media, that was kind of weird. And like they deleted so many, like they deleted. I still can't even find them on Twitter. I don't think they're back on Twitter. They're on Facebook and stuff because I think they can moderate that more and manage it more. But like they deleted their Forge World, their Black Library, Facebook and Twitter accounts. Like, they're gone, and they haven't bothered to come. And those had like thousands upon thousands of people following and like engaging.
I can't fathom that.
You are like the social media guru in my feeds, so like I can only imagine with like the thought of like hitting delete on an account that has like 40,000 followers.
It literally breaks my heart just thinking about it. I'm like, can't deal with it.
But so they demoed this game for everyone, and oh man, it stole my heart. It was everything I have ever wanted a miniature game to be in this place in my life. There are times where I can sit down and chew like a 3-hour mini war game, super strategic, super heavy, like free flowing movement. Set out the 4x4, 4x6. Give me the big table, give me the big fancy pieces of terrain. There are times where I just want something really fast and quick. And for a while there, I was playing Star Trek Attack Wing to kind of get that feel. But like that game, the balance got all crazy. This game, the promises they were making around Shadespire were like, and they're like, we promise it's going to be balanced. We promise it's going to be competitive. It's going to be organized, play driven. And they were saying all the things. I was just like, yes, 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 yes. And then they demoed it, and I was like, this is an amazing game. And I left that room, and I told basically everyone from the convention hall all the way across the entire convention hall, through the hallways, up through the escalator, up to the hotel elevator. No, you need to check out this game. It's amazing. It's gonna be magic. It's gonna be magic. And yeah, I'm really excited for it. People are trying to say it's like Mordheim. It's not. It is not. It is like, it's like, what if you took elements of X-Wing and mixed it with elements of Destiny?
Okay.
Mashed it together and set it in like a Games Workshop Age of Sigmar universe. And that's what it feels like. It's really incredible. And it plays so fast. Like you're supposed to play like the best of 3 rounds in like 45 minutes. So like you can play this you could play like an event on a weeknight the way you play Magic. And you can play it on a Magic size table. So you don't need to sit out the big freaking tables. So it's incredible. And it's really special. The other thing that's really interesting to me is on the flip side of that, something Fantasy Flight did, because when Games Workshop and Fantasy Flight parted ways, it opened each other up to do other things, right? So when they parted ways, Fantasy Flight created a 28mm miniature war game set in a fantasy universe with like little men that you build and stuff, and it's called Rune Wars, the miniature game, and they gave away, like, anyone who had an upgraded pass at Adepticon, you got a full copy of the game.
So I heard about that. And they just announced the new Grassy Lands playmat, which is really beautiful, and I cannot wait to get my hands on it.
It's really interesting because like there's a lot of things going on in the miniature front. I know a lot of people were really upset when that breakup happened. When I talked to people who are kind of involved in both the companies, they're like, no, we kind of knew ahead of time that this was going to happen before it was like officially announced. So they were all preparing. Their machinations were already happening at that point. So it wasn't as big a surprise to them. But I know for a lot of fans of those Fantasy Flight Warhammer collaborations, it was a bit of a blow. But I think that what we're going to see is some really exciting things. My fingers are still kind of crossed for Star Wars set miniature war game. I have.
Ooh.
So this is what kind of nerd I am when it comes to minis. My old friend Little Game Store Sentry Box had blisters of the old like pewter Star Wars minis, like 28 mil Star Wars minis. And I'm like, what I wouldn't give to play that game. And so maybe one day that's going to be something that hits the shelves and break Wargamers wallets. Who knows? But I'm really excited to see what comes forth of this, because I don't think that it's necessarily a bad thing. I think there's a lot of exciting things going on that front.
Speaking of miniature war games, the new Song of Fire and Ice.
Oh my god!
Cool mini miniature war game, which looks absolutely incredible.
It is incredible. Like okay, so I was talking to some of the folks at CMON at Adepticon about it, and they were like, "Yeah, no, it's going to be amazing." George R.R. Martin is apparently like quite involved. Like,
yeah. So I had lunch with him like 2 years ago, and he like briefly told me about it and was like, "Oh, but don't tell anybody. I don't think anybody's supposed to know." So I didn't tell anybody. And when Pep found out, he was like, "Oh my gosh, this is so cool." I was like, "Oh yeah, I've known about that for 2 years." And he was like, "And you didn't even tell me, you monster." And I'm like, "Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
I can keep a secret for real."
That's hilarious. For me, it was like I was talking, like I had inklings about it last year at CMON Expo. We had a sense that it was coming. But like apparently when they were even playtesting the game, they basically had all of their playtesters sign NDAs, and then they didn't even tell them the name of the game they were playtesting. So it was like this. They signed all these NDAs. They signed like 2 sets, I think, because like they had like, you know, the CMON side and then the estate like fiction side, and like everyone had to sign them, and they didn't actually tell them. Like they didn't know what game they were playtesting until like apparently there was a call and they were like, "Yeah, so Song of Ice and Fire. Let's talk about that." And everyone's like, "What are you talking about?" "Yeah, it's a game you guys have been playtesting." And they're like, "Oh my god." That is exciting. That is really, I'm excited too. One of the reasons why I'm super excited about this game is I picked up the Dark Age 2-player starter at Adepticon. So the unboxing is gonna go live on my channel in a couple days. And so Dark Age is like a mini sport game that CMON has had like quite a while, and it had existed for quite a while before that. And CMON acquired the distribution and licensing, game design, and everything for it. But that 2-player starter box has some of the nicest CMON models I have ever laid hands on.
Really?
Ever. They changed the plastics, so these are not the plastics you see in Zombicide or Blood Rage or the others. This is it's a more rigid, higher quality plastic.
Okay. I love the other miniatures and the others and Blood Rage and all that too.
Yeah, totally.
So
I get
to say it's nicer than that is like.
It is like it's much more rigid. So like one of the things that I notice when I paint minis is you know, sometimes there are issues with like just the bends in the spears and stuff. You'll see that might be a problem. The plastic, because I read somewhere that they're probably going to be using the plastic that you see in the Dark Age. It's almost resiny. It just feels more there's less give to it. I don't think it's got the same bounce, I guess, as like was it when Eric dropped some of his minis? A couple of years ago at CMON Expo, where like they just bounce, and you're probably not going to have that. But for the level of detail, because these, I don't know if they're going to be multi-part, if they're already built or not.
I really like the already built stuff. I'm really lazy.
I'm really lazy. It depends. Eric is asking if it's like Hero Forge gray plastic. I think that the closest analog I could give to it is it's like somewhere in between Games Workshop's gray plastic and Forge World's resin. It's somewhere in the middle there. Okay. So it doesn't feel like that typical, you know, I don't know, the PVC plastic that you sometimes find is really bendy and it warps when it cools. I feel like for Dark Age, they pulled out all the stops for this particular material, specifically for miniature wargamers. And so for if they do that same material for Song of Ice and Fire, man, oh my god, it's going to be.
Oh, I would die.
It's the level of detail, because when I was looking at the pictures, those are true scale models, so they're not like they're not exaggerated. So when you look at like the exaggerated or heroic scale or whatever, and you're looking at Games Workshop minis, you're looking at Privateer Press minis, where like the sword they're holding, it would be physically impossible for someone of that size to hold,
right?
Logistically, no. Song of Ice and Fire looks like they're using a true scale for their minis, so they're not as exaggerated. Those paint beautifully, and if you've got great detail on them, it goes really. It's just really sharp and beautiful. So I'm really excited about that.
They're going to be gorgeous.
Oh my god.
Oh, speaking of other minis, God, I could just talk about minis all day long.
Right? That's fine. Let's talk about minis. I'm okay with that.
We picked up some of WizKids and D&D's new minis. And can I just say, they come pre-primed.
Yeah.
They're like really cheap.
Oh my god, right? Okay. So, okay. We're going to talk about that. I'm going to say hi to all the people in the chat. Eric, hello. Epic Game Night, hello.
Hi, Ryan.
Ryan, hello. Hello, everybody. But yeah, let's talk about those Unity minis. Okay, so I have a love-hate relationship with Reaper Bones. Like, I love Reaper Bones, but at the same time, I find that they're not quite what I want, right?
I share that feeling. Here's the thing. I love Reaper's metal minis.
Yeah, right.
But like when I go to paint a Reaper Bones, I'm left wanting more. I'm like, where's the detail? Why can't I just dry brush this and call it a day?
Right. And here's the thing, like, there are, when I think about companies that can produce minis, like, there are companies that can produce and do that stuff. I think that Fantasy Flight, as part of Asmodee, they have so many titles and so many SKUs. Like, keeping the pipeline full for them is a challenge for obvious reasons. When we look at companies like Games Workshop, they were doing worldwide releases for their minis before video games were.
Yeah.
Like, it tells you something about the supply chain. WizKids is like that. WizKids can deliver. And they deliver like to demand. It's actually pretty good. They're not terrible. It doesn't take months for them to catch up to stuff that's highly in demand, because they've been doing minis for years with HeroClix and all that other stuff.
They produce enough, really.
They totally produce enough. So they have the capacity. And oh my god, those minis are so beautiful. Oh my god, those minis are so beautiful.
They're so well done. And these new ones coming pre-primed is just like, it sells me on the whole thing. I'm just like,
they're pre-assembled, pre-primed, and there's two in a pack for like $5 or whatever. Like, it's so cheap.
I got 3 kobolds for $4.
Oh my god, right? So I'm gonna be probably picking those up, and I'm gonna do some painting tutorials on them because they're so inspiring, and I just want to get my hands on them and just paint them up.
They just emailed me last week. They're sending me a bunch of stuff. So maybe we'll do a paint and hangout.
We should totally do a paint and hangout. That would be really fun. That would be super fun. But yeah, Joe's in the chat. Hello, Joe.
I know. Hi, Joe.
Hi, John. Agent. But yeah, anyways, that's kind of what's what. And
I can also confirm one thing with the D&D minis. The detail on them is like far beyond a Reaper Bone. Like so far beyond.
Yeah. You can tell in the blister. You can just pull out the blister and look and see, like, they're beautiful. They're going to take paint so beautifully, and like dry brushing and washing will take you like 95% of the way. At that point, it's like picking out details. You want to paint eyes? If you want, you could probably just wash the face and it'll look like eyes. You'll be fine. But like, they're so good. I'm really excited. And like, I'm really excited to see, because I know they did the D&D Attack Wing stuff, and those minis were great for people who just didn't want to paint or fuss with their minis. Yep. But if you want like a custom mini, like these new D&D minis are, they're pretty awesome. So yeah, what else do we have? Games Workshop released what was it, Shadow War Armageddon.
Mm-hmm.
And like my Facebook feed is filled with people who are already loving it and really excited about it.
I heard they didn't make enough though.
What?
I heard they didn't print enough that people were having a hard time getting it.
Depends on where you are. I think like um, if you are near a Games Workshop store, you're probably okay. If you're in a metropolitan area, you're probably okay. If you're relying on a friendly game store, I know Games Workshop sometimes has a harder time shipping to independent retailers,
Mm-hmm.
which is a thing. And I mean, like out here, I think the pricing on it was like $270 Canadian. So it's a lot, but you get a huge piece of terrain with it. Like I understand because those old cathedrals when they released them, like the big like monstrous terrain pieces they were doing, those were like $100 Canadian. So yeah. Like I'm not poo-pooing on the price. I just I get the price for the box. But sometimes I just want the stuff in, like I want the soldiers inside. I don't necessarily want more terrain that my cats are going to knock and inevitably destroy on my floor later on because I don't have. Gosh. Yeah. Like I don't really want. Yeah. So yeah, it's not a thing. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. I'm really excited to see. I'm really excited to see Games Workshop going into smaller scale games. I think that's what it is for me because some of my favorite style of miniature games are the skirmish size games. Because they can play fast and you can get people into them and you can bring your friends into them and they're not overwhelmed with the idea of having to spend $2,000 on minis in order to like play a full game.
And it works reverse, right? You get them into those initial Games Workshop universe titles and then you pull them into the universe and then you're like, I got one more person to war game with.
Right, exactly, right. And it grows the community. It's really awesome like that. So yeah, I'm super excited to be like checking that stuff out and seeing more of that coming out of Games Workshop. But yeah, I'm also really excited to see what the specialist game side comes out with as well, because I know they're gonna hit like all the nostalgia buttons the way that Force Awakens hit all the nostalgia buttons for everyone. I'm in my heart, I'm still I'm like, please, Forge World, please make a Mad Donna model for Necromunda. Please. I just want that model. And then I'll collect it and be done with it. Maybe not. Who knows if it sucks me in more? But yeah, that's kind of our
I'm not buying that you'll be done with it once you get that. Not even a little bit.
It's terrible. Like if you actually look behind me, you can kind of see I've got a little bit of like you can see some boxes of minis just hanging out right there.
Yep.
With all my other recording equipment. Because I have so much stuff I need to get through. I have and all of it I love. This is stuff that when we moved, this is stuff that got paired. This is stuff that we no, we are absolutely keeping this. We are packing this. We are paying someone to move this for us. Yep. And that's not even the only box. There are other boxes in our house of toy soldiers that are still in cello. And I'm I need to get through these. I love them so much. But
so my co-parent backed the Reaper's Bones mini. Ooh. Plus, on top of that, he backed the New Kingdom Death at the.
Oh my God.
I think he backed for $1,200. He got everything.
Oh, fuck. That's.
Yeah.
Is ship. I can't even imagine how much it would cost on top of that to ship. Because I always when I look at it. Tarek, they are toy soldiers, sweetie. They're toy soldiers. Absolutely toy soldiers. I love them, but they are toys. They are grown-up toys, but not grown-up toys. But they're toys. They are toys. We're okay. I'm okay with it. I had to declare when I came back from Adepticon. I crossed the border back into Canada, and I had to look at a custom agent in the eye and tell them I was bringing back $1,000 worth of toys. And they just looked at me like I was crazy. I used this term I was oh, they're collectibles and they're so on and so forth, but just to kind of make it sound a little more mature. But come on, I play pretend with pretend toy soldiers. There's no shame in that. We're cool with that. That's something we're okay.
At least when you get the new Game of Thrones ones that you can just be well, it's Game of Thrones, and the TSA will be I know that word.
yeah, totally. Oh, Eric is mentioning Ninja Division making the Starfinder RPG miniatures. Oh, that's gonna be interesting. Okay, so Ninja Division, we spent a pile of money with Ninja Division. One of my favorite games that I haven't even been able to like really truly feature from last year was Ninja All Stars. I love chibi ninja models. I mean, come on, look at
They're
me. Of
very
course
cute.
I love them. They're so cute. And so so I picked up the box with like the Wolverine, and I picked up the hero blister of the bald guy. So I'm gonna paint him up at like Old Man Logan and Old Man Professor X. It's gonna be so cute. But Ninja Division is like quickly coming like one of my favorite, rising up in my list of favorite game companies because they're doing the My Little Pony RPG book.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. I want to play that with my daughter so bad.
Oh my god, right? Like Nathan is so excited about it. I'm so excited about it. Alessio Cavatore designed it. So if you are like me, a fan of Warhammer 40K 4th edition, that was the designer. That was the guy who made that RPG. So I am like so stoked about it. I think it's going to be so amazing. Yeah, like it's pretty freaking awesome.
Well, I want to play with my kid and then also play with my adult friends.
Yeah, right. It's gonna be fun. I think it's gonna be really hilarious. And like I think that it's a really lovely way too, because I think that one thing I've been seeing a lot in the industry is these bridge games that are really great for families to play together that aren't terrible to play with your kids. It's not Candyland, okay? It's not Candyland anymore. So one game Nathan and I, if you've been following me on Instagram, you'll know that we are playing a lot of Hogwarts Battle right now. We finally, I don't know how many tries we took on Game 7 just to try to win. We lost a lot. We finally beat it. We're really excited about the expansion. Hogwarts Battle is one of those games you play as a family because it is amazing, and it can be so hard. It can
in the later scenarios, it seems like a cakewalk up until round 3, and then you're like, oh, this is getting serious.
Serious. The basilisk comes out, and you're like, well, this is a thing. And then you're just hoping for good dice rolls and your stack of cards. Because I sleeved them all, so I know exactly how many there are. There's 106 in the by the time you hit Game 7 of the Hogwarts upgrade deck, and it is hard because sometimes you just need a draw and you're just buying garbage just to get new cards out so you can eventually get something you need to actually win the game. So yeah, it's really cool. I think those are the games that are coming out. I talked with Matt Leacock, who designed Pandemic, and he just released this family-friendly cooperative game that's kind of a take on Snakes and Ladders. And basically, I look at this game now and I'm like, there is no reason for Snakes and Ladders to exist in this universe anymore. We have this now. This is an incredible game. It's a cooperative game where you're a bunch of mole rats on a spaceship, and there are snakes that are breeding on this thing, and you've got to try to get to the middle capsule, picking up things along the way. You need you acquired 4 items, and then all of your little guys need to get into the capsule without getting bit by a snake or having a snake get into the escape pod.
It's so cute.
It's so cute, and it's so amazing. And there are ladders to go up towards the escape capsule, and then there are chutes that shoot you down low into lower levels or out into space. And so you can move the snakes around, and then you move your guys around. It's amazing.
Have you ever heard of the game Hamster Clan by Haba Games?
No.
So it is a fully cooperative game where you are playing hamsters trying to gather food to hibernate for winter. And it's just a roll and move. You just roll a die, and then you move that number of spaces. But there's it just reminded me of this. There's a little chute, and it slides down in the board, and it's just a little piece of cardboard that just fits inside this other little piece of cardboard.
Oh, interesting.
And the hamster little meeple dudes go in it and go up and down. And this is for kids ages 3 and up. So Renji, cool. If you were looking for games to play with your 3-year-old, Haba has so many games that are fun for adults and for kids.
That's really interesting. Yeah, Joe called it right. It's Mole Rats in Space. Mole Rats in Space is just, it's just so adorable, and it comes with miniatures. Laura and I are totally gonna paint them. They're these adorable little mole rats in spacesuits. Yeah, it comes with they are chibi mole rats. I'm not joking.
So cute.
They are adorable, and I think they're amazing. And I'm all about this game.
Billion copies.
Yeah, super adorable. And I think that they're just I think it's a really interesting game. So yeah, I've like there is so much stuff to geek out about this year. Oh my gosh, hey.
Oh my gosh, infinite. I mean,
Infinite.
First off, Arcadia Quest Pets comes out in like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I have a copy,
Holy
so I'm going to
smokes.
be painting mine before then, hopefully.
Oh my gosh, yeah. That's going to be amazing.
They're
so cute.
So cute. I'm blown away. I did my Frost Dragon, which took me 3 hours to paint on my camera. And by the way, painting on a camera is the most difficult thing I've ever done in my entire life. And I've had a child.
Like you don't have to tell me. I'm well aware, because like it's either your head is in the frame of the camera, like I am blocking you with my head, or you are painting like this out away from the freaking camera. And you can't get that stuff. Like
I'm painting around the camera. Like the camera is between my two arms, and I'm like peeking over, and I've got like these ridiculous lights mounted to my ceiling. It's so difficult, and I feel bad because I'm a way better painter than I come off on my live stream as. But I'm like, but I'm painting like around this camera, and I'm sorry, like there's nothing I can do. I don't have time to mix the paints. I don't have time to thin them. Like I'm just slopping paint on because I'm trying to get it done before like 3 hours is up.
It's one of those things where it's really hilarious. It's like I said it a while back when I was vlogging a lot, and I'd tell people like the easier something looks on camera, the harder it probably was to make it happen. Yeah. Like literally, it's like, so if things look easy on camera, it's because it's freaking hard to do. And if things look hard to do, it's because it was hard to do. Like it wasn't pulled off elegantly, but because it's hard. So yeah, like as you're leading up to CMON Expo painting Arcadia Pets, I am leading up to CMON. I gotta get my Dark Age done. I really want to play at least in one tournament. I need to roll some D20s. I know how to roll ones on D20s, guys. Like that's how Dark Age works. You roll low, good things happen. And if D&D has showed me anything, is that I know how to roll very low.
That's what Pathfinder Adventure card game taught me. We made a dice jail, and I filled up 2 separate dice jails in one night, and I was like, "Are you kidding me? I didn't know you could roll this many ones and still maybe win the scenario."
Thankfully, it's funny.
It was only me rolling the ones. That's why we didn't lose.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, like it's one of those things where you just, I don't know, I guess you can take it for granted too, though, right? Like it's so easy to like forget that dice are a thing in a game. Like I think it's because I come from that mini wargaming background, I think, and you spend so much time collecting and painting and like building army lists and working around metas and theory crafting all of your game, and then you show up to the table and your dice just screw you over, and it is the most heartbreaking thing. I
spent 4 hours painting you.
Oh my god!
How dare I roll a 1?
I went to an X-Wing tournament. I borrowed models from some friends. I did borrow models. I had my own models, but I borrowed cards from them because I didn't have all the upgrades I wanted. Like I theory crafted the hell out of this list, and I could not roll anything but freaking blanks the entire goddamn time, and it was so depressing. Like a 12-year-old kid, like gave me like the pity look. He's like, "You shouldn't roll in your dice tray anymore," and I'm like, "It's not better when I'm not rolling out of my dice tray." Like it was terrible, broke my heart. But like, I think I ended up putting some dice shame photos on my Instagram that day because it was just, it was not a good experience. But it was fun. Like, I mean, I think that's the other thing, though, right? I'm not a person who's always in it to win. When it comes to miniature games, all the time. Depends on the game, though. I guess it also depends on how much I've invested in it, how much I'm playing that game, and how competitive I am.
And your opponent.
And my opponent. Yeah, oh my god. There are some people like, yeah, like there's some games where I'll build a list that is highly narrative, highly fluffy, highly exciting from an interesting narrative perspective. There are some times where I'll show up to a table with like, I want to kick your teeth in list, and this is how I'm going to do it. I know exactly what my moves are. I know how to set up, and I know how to, and I'm not playing your game, I'm playing mine. And then the dice fuck me. And that's what happens. So I've learned in my age to just like let it go. Just let it go, because the dice just, yeah, when the best laid plans can be very easily messed up by dice. I think that's also why I love Malifaux so much, and I play a lot of Malifaux, and I paint and collect Malifaux. It's because the cards are on a fixed probability curve. In a deck of cards, there are only so many ones.
That's fair.
In that deck. So it feels a little more probable, and you have ways of mitigating stuff, so it doesn't feel like you're just screwed, which is nice. Like, I think that's something that is ultimately one of the elements that draws me to that game, is like the fixed probability curve.
Yeah, not losing is nice. Feeling like you stand a little bit of a chance.
Well, you're a competitive gamer though, so you know the feels.
I do. I think I've calmed down a lot in the last few years, because my co-parents and I have spent a lot of time gaming, and there are some games where he cannot beat me at them, and there are some games where I cannot beat him at them. And I usually know by turn 3 of any game we're playing together who's gonna win.
Oh.
And so I've learned to kind of like breathe and accept my loss before it's happened.
So there are certain things that I'm looking forward to doing at Blood Rage, or at Simon Expo, and I really want to play a game of Blood Rage with you and Nathan, because I think that of all the people in this world who can beat Nathan, it would have to be you. I have played so many games with him, so many mixed groups, he cannot lose that fucking game, and it pisses the shit out of me. And it's the worst because, okay, so he was born in Canada, but he was born further north than I was, so he always goes first, so he can like lay it out. But because he's going kind of towards the end, he has more control of the table into the later turns, and it's just it burns me up. It burns me up because he is so good at that game, and I never win, and I just And Star Trek Ascendancy was another of those games. He's just rolling me. It just drives me mad.
I love Star Trek Ascendancy.
Right? It is amazing. I think that game is so good.
Mind-blowingly good. And I'm sad because we lost one of our 3 players that we were playing with it all the time. And I'm just like, I need more of that game in my life, because it's just so stinky addicting, and I'm so excited for the Ferengi and Cardassians expansion.
Oh my god, the Borg too! Oh my god, the Borg!
Yeah, the Borg just got announced. Oh.
Yeah, it's just like, yeah, no, totally. I'm so excited for the Ferengi just to see how that like switches up trade and shit. Like,
me too.
Like, I'm just like, okay, so the Ferengi are my race. I love the Ferengi so much. They are my favorite race in Star Trek. Of all of them, they are the best, and that says a lot about them, because like they're sexist and they're greedy, and I am like a feminist socialist. Like come on. But they're so good, and they're so endearing, and they're just so much fun. There's so much fun in that universe. And
I think that the one thing is that the Ferengi are truly themselves. Like, if you wanted to point at a Star Trek character and be like, be yourself, like everybody be a Ferengi.
Yeah, right? Like, there's something super interesting about the Ferengi. But like, yeah, I'm super excited. Nathan, I love that game so much, and like, it's just, I don't know, he just has a way of rolling people at that. He's just lucky. When it comes to that game, he like turns over these worlds, and they're all like beautiful virgin worlds, and they're easy and like nothing, and then everything I turn over is crap, and I can't do anything, and it makes me so mad.
I have that exact same luck in that game. Like, to the T, I don't think I've ever opened up a virgin world. It's always like some crazy anomaly on a planet that like I'd have to do hegemony in order to beat it. And
oh my god. And you're playing like Klingons or something. Like, you're just like, fuck. Yeah. Anyways, I love. I think that is I think that's just such a golden game, and it's one of those games that I feel was overlooked in a lot of lists for best game of the year for 2016, because it came out kind of late and it was overlooked. I was a champion for it on Geek and Sundry because I thought it was. And I don't take this lightly, because I play a lot of Star Trek games. I've tried everything. I think it is the best encapsulation of that universe in a board game we've seen ever. Yeah.
Okay. That's fair.
I just I think that there's something magical about how they make it about the ships and about the exploration, and I think that translation works well. I think that, like, one thing that is a hallmark of Star Trek that you forget sometimes is that no, galactic diplomacy is really what it's all about. Like, this is the thing. This is Star Trek. It's about exploration. It's about galactic diplomacy. It's about all of these other interesting elements, and yeah, like, I think sometimes we get really wrapped up in, like, I don't want to say character, but yeah, no, I think, like, even when I look at Star Trek Attack Wing, like, it was a delightful game. It was always delightful to see how characters were translated into the game and how they affected the game because of their character, like, particular elements that made them them, right? But it wasn't Star Trek because it's not like the Federation would ever just, like, jump headlong into battles and
that would never happen.
That would never happen. Like, so it's like, no, of course the Federation goes and explores and does all the things, and that's why I'm so excited to see what the Cardassians do, because, like, if you looked at the sneak peeks, like, the Cardassians are like, yeah, you can only get resources on a planet you have a ship around because you're an occupying force. That is your drawback. And they're like, that's perfect. I think that's
they did their research.
Yeah, well, I think that it's not just the research, it's the translation of that into the game. And I think that's unique. And I think that is that translation is what makes that game special. And I think that what's really interesting is even in a different kind of timeline, all those things are still true. So even if you take those characteristics and put it in the Abrams timeline, the Romulans are Romulans, the Federation are Ferengis, and, like, it's still true to the universe, and it's consistent to the universe. And I think that is what's interesting to me. That's what's in that. I think that's why I say that it's probably one of the best translations of the universe into board games, because those things are much more universal. The themes are still very much there, and even when you go through the challenge decks and stuff, it's just it's there's something delightful about it. It's the same reason, like, when you open the new games in Harry Potter, when you go through those cards, there's an element of true delight when you just, the first time you open them up and look through them, go, oh my god, this is here. I think that element is something that that allures me to a lot of games. So
absolutely. Yeah. I mean, how fun is it to, like, flip over Ryza and be like, Ryza.
I want to make one of those totem things for Ryza for myself.
Oh my gosh, do it!
I can totally do it. Oh my god, yes! Oh my gosh, we should bring them to SEMA. Like, we'll bring them to Atlanta. Like, it'll be fun. It'll be fun. I'm like, I could paper mache one of those. That'd be pretty hilarious.
Yes. Oh, so Joe asked how short a Star Trek Ascendancy playthrough can be, and the shortest I've played was like 3 hours.
3 hours. Yeah. I was gonna say, like, it's 3
but it's
hours.
More like 6.
Really? You can play. I don't know. I just it feels it's a lot longer. I think that when you have, like, when you have a more engaging group, it goes shorter. The more you have people who just don't want to link up, star systems and stuff, the longer it can draw out, I find, or people who just keep trying to avoid each other.
I was just trying to avoid the Klingons because I was playing the Federation last time, and I was just, like, zipping around trying to avoid them, and it took us forever because I was like, I'm having no part of these Klingons.
You just gotta mill through your upgrade deck, because there are a lot of, like, freaking things that just screw everyone else over. Romulans, probably, like, if you're playing Romulans and you're milling through your tech deck with your turns instead of, like, exploring the galaxy and shit, you will find some really amazing things, and you kind of turtle up that way, and then you just explode, and you're just like, bam, I'm here. And it's very Romulan. It's actually quite Romulan-y. So it's kind of cool. It's really interesting to see how those little dynamics play out on the table. I think it's just really thoughtfully designed like that. So yeah, it can be it can be, yeah, you can push it to 3 hours if you kind of know what you're doing and you really choose to be engaging. If you're gonna be a lot more, so I feel like if you're a lot more strategic and thoughtful, it can take longer.
Yeah, we were being very thoughtful. And on top of that, I feel like it's super important. It's one of those games where you are going to want to play it more than once. After you play it for the first time, you're going to want to play it again.
Yeah,
so honestly, play it on a weekend, on like a Saturday or Sunday morning.
Yeah.
And play it with 2 people because it's 3-player only game.
Yeah.
And play it again with them again because you're going to want to. Like, it's a game that you're going to play again and again and again, but you want a consistent game group. So do not play it at a game night where you're going to have like 8 people over. Save it for a special game group. Set it up in the same way you'd set up a D&D group.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I think the Borg are going to be interesting in terms of changing that dynamic, because I think the Borg are like, the way they work them out is, I hear the rumors are that they're like a second chance. Like, if a player gets eliminated, they play the Borg. And that's an interesting thing to me. I don't, and I think that that'll just extend the game time, to be perfectly honest.
That makes me happy, though. That's so cool. That's so Borgy.
It's so Borg, right? You're just like, ah. But I don't know. I'm really excited to see, like, because the way I really want to support this game because I want more expansions for it. I want it to be a game that people want to pick up, and it you know, if they put into it what they did with, I'm trying to think, this is Gale Force 9. I think they did Firefly too, didn't they?
They did all the Firefly expansions.
Yeah, they did all the Firefly expansions. Like, I want them to do that. Like, you can see that thoughtfulness in translating this license into a game in the Fireflyverse too. So it's like, I want them to give that Firefly treatment to Star Trek. And so I really want this to be a really great game. I want people to play it, even though it's like, it is like, there are a lot of reasons. I understand why people didn't look at it for a best game of the year. But I think that
it's because it's intimidating, right? The level of entry seems really high, but honestly, once you look at the rulebook and learn to play, it's so simple. The mechanics are so clean.
It's so clean, and it doesn't feel like, even with pedantic players, there's always that level of tension. I think that's what makes that game good.
Yes.
There's a base level of tension that is consistent in the game, and you're just like always amped, and you're like, oh my god, I don't know what is happening.
But you never do. Like, you're either exploring new planets, experiencing new things, building up a military, which is obviously going to get you attacked, or gathering a bunch of resources and just piling things up and finding new ways to spend them. So every aspect of everything that you do on your turn is new and exciting, no matter what.
Yeah. So it's really interesting. I think that, I think that it's going to be a game that people will come back to, like,
20 years from now and still be like, this is a gem. This is a treasure.
I think it's a, like, and I mean, there has been, I think this might be translated from video games, to be perfectly honest with you. There has been the stigma on licensed products for a long time. Yeah. You know, I feel like X-Wing broke that mold. I feel like after that, there were like these other like pockets, like even like Battlestar Galactica is a game I love. A lot of people don't love it the way I love it. Because you really have to like be in that universe to get it, right? To really get it. But I can see it didn't age as well as it could have. I don't think that's going to happen. Yeah, like, you know, Battlestar Galactica just didn't age well. Part
of it is cooperative games evolved a lot.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. The mechanics.
But I do think that it was a landmark in the deception role in cooperative games.
Yeah. Absolutely.
It was that game that really changed the genre.
You know, I have to agree. I'm totally with you, because I feel like before that, Werewolf was never thought of as like the kind of games that you see now with how Werewolf itself has evolved. And I feel like, Battlestar Galactica was kind of that watershed moment where people started looking at that deceptive kind of that bluffing, you know, turncoat element in a different light.
It made way for games like Dead of Winter.
Yes, right? And like, yeah, so yeah, I understand why people are like, you know, it's kind of like Agricola. It's a game that people start with and are like, oh, this is cool, and then like 8 years later they're like, I'd rather play something else now. I understand that it had this impact and I appreciate it for that, but it's not a game I pull out anymore, to be perfectly honest with you. So
well, I have Caverna, so
yeah, exactly. Like it's, yeah, so I don't know. I think that there's a lot of, it's a beautiful age to be in, that's for sure. And things continue to evolve. I don't know what things are going to look like for Ascendancy. Mark, yeah, totally. Ascendancy does rock. We've been geeking out about Ascendancy, obviously. I think Ascendancy is going to be, if it's not going to be a game that has the sticking power necessarily, it will be a watershed game for sure, 100%.
I believe in it. I believe in that game. I think it has staying power in my collection.
I think so. I like, for me, it's not going anywhere, and I buy everything. I really want to. Of course, it's me, right? So I want to at least wash the ships with something, or give them like a metallic coat of something.
I did.
Did you? What did you do?
I painted them and added the metallic dry brush paints. Honestly, they didn't turn out as well as I had hoped because I was doing it while I was kind of playing the game, and so I might redo them all. But some paint is better than none.
Right? Yeah, it's true. There are, like, my concern is because, like, Klingon birds of prey are green. Okay, I just have to say that out loud. Klingon birds of prey are green. And one of my least favorite ships that I repainted out of Star Trek Attack Wing was the Romulan Warbird. I hate it. Not good. Because the greens are so flat. I think that's what it is. I find that the Romulan greens are just really flat. And so I really want to try something on them. But I want them to pop. And I'm still figuring out my color schemes and figure out what details I'm going to paint them. I might do an ombre effect maybe.
If they released a Star Trek ship line of paints, I would throw money at it.
Right.
Like, seriously, figuring out the color schemes for the various ships has been the biggest challenge.
I mean, I think that it's not as bad as I remember it being. Mind you, I painted on my Attack Wing ship, so it's like, yeah, I went through that. I went through that process already, right? So I already have my camel tones, my caramel brown tones for my Cardassian ships, and I already have my, orangey kind of metallic-y stuff for the Ferengis. I've got the greens for the Klingons. I've got the like foresty greens for the Romulans. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how those actually like work. Tony mentioned that WizKids is releasing unpainted Attack Wing. I saw that.
Hallelujah.
Yeah, having painted. Okay, so I'm gonna say this now. If they, and I think they're pre-primed just like the D&D minis, but if they use this, like even the same kind of I guess the tooling that they did for the Attack Wing minis, they're going to be great. And the Attack Wing minis were terribly painted. They're horrible paint jobs. But when I cut open the Romulan ship, it is sculpted on the inside. It is beautiful. The detail on those minis actually makes it totally paintable, totally accessible. And so if they're pre-primed, those are just gonna be really lovely things to have. Again, who knows? Maybe that's one of those things. We need to get someone to actually like go back and like make some Star Trek paint line or matches. Yeah. I'll figure that out. I'll post a list and you can tell me how it works for you. Maybe that's what I'll do because I've got
a blog post about it.
Yeah, maybe that's what I'll do. I'll figure something out because yeah, I'm just really excited to paint those up. Oh my gosh! Holy smokes! There's a lot of chatter happening. It's super cool to see. Oh my gosh. Brittany, what else are you excited about? Is there anything else you want to chat about? We're kind of coming up to an hour.
I know. Okay.
It flew so fast.
It did. It went really fast. Let me double check. I mean, I guess I'm nowhere near the scale that you are when it comes to YouTube subscribers, but I broke 1,400.
Woo! That's awesome. That is so awesome.
Yeah, and I'm
I'm
pretty
so
excited
excited.
about that. Yeah,
That is so awesome. If you're not already subscribed to Bebo's channel, it is in the description. I put the link already there, so you can go ahead in the bottom out there and just click the link, and then you can subscribe. I really recommend you do it, because she is amazing, and your videos are like super produced and stuff too, so it's like amazing.
That's my thing, is quality. I want to be the very best, like no one ever was.
I see, and I think that it depends. Like for me, like I said, I've said it before. Teri subscribed. Yay, you get claps. I watch a lot of makeup vlogs. And so I structure a lot of my content around what that looks like. A lot of it is like, hey, let's hang out and talk about stuff. And I'm cool with that. My tutorials, as a result, also kind of feel like makeup vlogs, and I'm okay with that too. But like, I don't have time. I wish I had more time to edit. I think that's what it is. Just editing can be.
I mean, but I do this full time.
Yeah.
Somebody's paying me to do it. It's totally different. But the big thing is that like all of my pictures, like it's never just one picture. It's like 6 pictures, and I Photoshopped them all together, so everything's completely crisp and gorgeous and
beautiful. Yeah. You are a peddler of board game pornography, Brittany.
That's it. That's what I am.
Yeah. I get that. We get that. I'm like the cam girl for miniatures. I think that's probably the comparison.
So some cam girl is gonna make $1 million off of this.
Right. But yeah, it's one of those things. I think that there's one of those really fun kind of things to kind of just explore, right? Like, because I think that I really want to. I like seeing other people's voices and opinions, and including those voices in those conversations. And I think that if you're able to try to insert yourself in those things, and vlogging and my YouTube channel is it's still very much a hobby for me. I wish I could spend more time on it, but writing is kind of where I have spent a lot, especially the last year, obviously. With Geek and Sundry and my book, vlogging has kind of fallen off, but I'm trying to get back in. I'm trying to get back on that horse and be better.
So I'm trying to get better about vlogging style videos, because I have only done one so far, and that was our recent Gamma wrap up from like last 2-3 weeks ago from Gamma. And
oh my gosh,
I haven't done much, I don't know, candid summary vloggy style stuff. I do very concise board game overviews that are almost how to plays, but not quite a how to play. But they're 3 to 8 minutes long tops.
Yeah, well, you do very scripted stuff too, though, right? Like it's very well thoughtfully planned, thoughtfully delivered. For me, obviously, I like to talk into a camera by myself, alone in the basement, and talking to someone is new. But like, I don't know. Scripts are hard for me, mostly because I'm such a fangirl. I just want to talk about all the things and be all the excited.
Yeah. And I would love to have all of the time to do that, but I'm so busy like writing my scripts and taking my pictures and whatever else that I'm like, I need to find a way to make time for it. So this is the board games coming back to doing more of this is about as close as I think I'm going to get when it comes to having the time to do it all.
But I think that's really fun, though. I think that I like this format a lot. I like the format because we can talk to people in the chat, and we can engage. But I also think that it's really nice to see people as people, right? It's so easy sometimes to compartmentalize individuals, and we have opinions, and we have lives, and we have entire things outside of this little box that you observe us in. And when you see us kind of off the cuff, hopefully you realize we are not just our jobs, and we are not just what we appear to be in these channels. We are more than that.
We are. We're people with
We're people.
children and cats and messes.
Yes. And messes and like exactly like boxes of like mini wargaming neglected models. Like, yeah, that's us.
So earlier I forgot to tell you this to finish the story. My co-parent backed all those Kickstarters and he did the math. And if he painted 2 minis a day for 2 years, he still would not be done painting all of his minis.
Oh my god. Oh my god. That's a this is why okay, so I was tempted by Kingdom Death. Because all of my friends, I have a lot of miniature painter friends who are like, oh my god, the minis are so beautiful. Like pro painters, commission painters, like they are like super, like people who teach at Adepticon and Gen Con and CMON and
like, I don't even care about the minis. The game is so good.
Yeah, see? Like I didn't, because I was like, I can't play the game if I don't paint the minis. And if I will never play the game. I will never be able to play that game. So it's like I was able that was how I was able to restrain myself from going all in, because I was like, and then I ended up backing a different game by Weird Miniatures called The Other Side, which is based in the Malifaux universe, which is a game I love and a universe I love and all that stuff. So it was like really, and it's like the faction I backed were Kaiju, and then Nathan backed
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's like Kaiju, and he backed like this like fire cult thing, and like the other two factions are like North African kind of magic military, and then there's the British Jaeger pilot things, and it's amazing. Like I'm just like, yeah, this is all me 100%. So yeah,
that's awesome.
Anyways, Mark is heading off. Have a good night, Mark. I think we're gonna kind of wrap it up a little bit. We got to do this again, Brittany. We totally have to do this.
I'm up for it. Other than Cool Mini or Not Expo weekend, I'm good to go. Yeah,
cool. Yeah, so check out Bebo's channel. She's got all the social media links in those places as well. Follow me on all the social media as well. That way you can stay up to date as to whether or not you can find out when we're doing this again. We can hang out some more and chat and talk, and maybe we'll do a paint and hang of some sort.
Yeah,
paint some minis together.
So up for painting.
That'd be great. Let's do that. Let's make that happen. All right. Cool. Thanks so much for hanging, guys. That is me. I'm Teri.
And I'm Bebo.
Have a good one.